Hi guys, welcome back. It is Lupa here. It is January 31st and we're at the end of week 2 and we are going to be doing an update on this week. As you guys know, I talk a lot. There's a lot to say and I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about school. So I would really appreciate it if you would join me with a drink. I have a sugar-free vanilla latte from Starbucks. And if you see me munching on, I have not finished my tater tots from earlier, so I might snack on those. And yeah, so let's get into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and as always, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Professor. So if you guys remember, I go quickly through professors and talk about what is happening with them, like communication, interactions wise, and stuff like that. But week 2, I had my last class for the first time this week, and as I mentioned, she seemed like a fantastic person over email, and in person it just continued in person, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I have her on Mondays. So in asynchronous, when I was confused about that, so a lot of the times it will mean that you won't meet for the semester, and that's what typically it means. But for this class in particular, which is a community research class, it just means that we don't have classes on Wednesdays and only Mondays. So that's actually fantastic. So I do have to go to class on Mondays. And she is one of the best professors as of now that I've had to date. She's also very vigilant on what's happening in her class, and that really impressed me. So we actually played bingo toward the end of class, and it was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So I just stayed in my chair, and I don't know if she had people come over to me, but within like 30 seconds of the whole thing, of everyone getting up and walking around, people just started coming to my desk, and a few of them like, oh, we've had classes together before, and that was really nice. And everyone was really nice, and some of them like didn't just assume that I couldn't sign because I was blind. They were like, oh, so how do you want to sign? Do you need anything? And that made me feel like, oh my god, this is fantastic. Even that small thing made me feel really good. And so I was able to play, and it was not accessible due to it being a handout, but at least they would ask me the questions and then fill in my card, so that was really fun. But during that time, because there was a lot of people around my desk, they were literally lining up. Like, some of them were like, oh, you know, whatever, we were together in this class and so. There was a couple of people that asked me like, oh, your dog is so beautiful, and I was like, oh, thanks, like, it's a boy or girl, and I was like, boy. But because I was mostly paying attention to the people that were working with me on the card, I did not realize that the people that were actually asking me questions were actually petting Ethos, and because Ethos doesn't get up and like move around when he's being petted and he's in harness, so I didn't know that he was actually being petted. And so a few minutes before everyone stopped like playing their bingo, the professor came and sat next to me. She's like, hey, you know, how is everything doing? I do apologize for not thinking about this. And I was like, everyone's been very welcome, but thank you, you know. And she's like, hey, you know, I noticed that there was people petting your dog, and I know that he's a service dog, and that's probably not acceptable. And I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh yes, yeah, they shouldn't be petting him. She's like, okay, would you like me to send a reminder and an email? And I was like, that would be fantastic. And she did, and I'm very grateful to her, because I'm like, other professors would have either not known, not cared, or completely not been paying attention to what everyone else is doing. So yeah. And then the next professor that I feel like I'm gonna have trouble with is the Zoom professor. I've emailed her twice already, and it's been 2 weeks. Haven't heard from her. Her personality on Zoom seems to be like, she's very kind of controlling. like if a student replies, like answers one of her questions, she rephrases it, and sometimes she completely changes what they said, and she's like, that's what you meant, right? But in a way where she's like, you better say yes because we're gonna have a problem kind of situation. And I might just be reading too much into her tone and to the way she's saying things, but I don't really like how that's going, and I don't like how she's kind of ignoring me. So I'm gonna reach out to her again on Monday, because I try not to reach out to them on the weekend, because that will give them an excuse to say, well, that's the weekend, you should respect my boundaries as well, which of course I understand. And the other two professors, like I said, I've met them before. One of them has always been fantastic. The other one was the one I was afraid that would kind of treat me a little bit coldly because of everything that happened spring 2025. But I think she learned a lot from that semester. I'm sure she talked to the chair of the department. You know, there was conversations happening. She even mentioned that her pedagogy has changed due to some challenges she faced, and even though it was one of the hardest semesters for me, not just in my personal life, in transportation, in technology, but in accessibility and communication with a lot of them that semester, I'm glad that it helped somebody become better, and she really is, and I'm very appreciative of her. And so yeah. Oh, was I facing the wrong way the whole time? Oops. So a quick OSD update. So now I know why I haven't been able to access a lot of the notes that people can do, which in most community colleges and universities, students are asked to volunteer. In Cal State LA, you either get a monetary gain, which is only up to $125, or you can get up to 35 hours of community service hours. And I've never been able to get them. I've always found them, but I've never been able to see them. But apparently there's a couple of steps you have to do. You have to confirm that you still need note takers for that class, and then you can download them. I did not know you had to confirm. I thought you just requested them, they saw it, you got note takers, and that was it, but apparently not. So that is that. And yeah, adaptive technology. So you guys, my counselor from DOR finally contacted me on Thursday. She sent me a very cold email reminding me that she cannot provide me services if she doesn't have my documents. I gave her all my documents from last semester, from this semester, except one, which is my financial aid award letter. I've been looking for it, haven't been able to find it, but I did find something on my financial aid account and not my student account from Cal State, and I just screenshotted it. I'm gonna send it to her, and she also called me, and she sounded a lot nicer on the voice message. And she's like, I'm not able to find your financial aid awards letter. But in the email, she's like, we loan you the technology. And I feel like she was telling me stop bugging. But I'm like, woman, we've been working on this for a year now. Like in a month or two, it's gonna be a year. And now you're pretending like I haven't submitted anything. I've been submitting everything and giving you updates throughout the semester, which I don't have to. But you nicely asked me a couple years ago if I can do that. And she's still acting like a bitch toward me. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. So class assignments. You guys, this is where I'm feeling overwhelmed. We're just 2 weeks in. I already have a presentation next week, and I think I have one in 2 weeks, and I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to use any type of PowerPoint, Google Slides, any of that kind of stuff. I hear that they're mostly accessible. It just depends on what technology you have. Sorry. And hold on a second. Sorry about that. I don't like showing the camera. Sorry, everyone's home. We're preparing for my younger brother's 25th birthday dinner. Anyways, I don't know how to work with any of that. I've been very lucky, or like I told my friend, very unfortunate that I haven't had to really face that skill. But up to this point, like in community college, the professors always give you other options. Like you can do PowerPoint, or you can do collage, or you can just have notes and then just submit it a document. And so I have always chosen the other option, always, because I was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't want to bug people. But in the few times that it was required, I would just gather my information, put my information together, and then Kimberly would set everything up and just copy and paste it and organize it for me. Or I have done ones where I had somebody from the library help me set up my portion. That didn't really work well. There's been the first time I had to do this at Cal State, my team was like, okay, just send us your information and we'll input it for you. And that usually works when I'm in a group, because also they're like, oh, why don't you just try it? And the moment I try it, they see what I mean. I'm like, it ends up on a spot that it shouldn't be, and then they just fix it for me. So yeah, that's one thing I'm struggling with right now. And I have to do like, I believe like 4 in total. I think 3 of them are in groups. So yeah, that's really overwhelming. I have to do, I think just like, I thought it was more than I thought of the research papers, but I think it's only 3. I really need to look at that, but we'll definitely talk as we get into them. Right now, the actual material is really easy. It's just a lot of reading. I need to do my DLR this week, so I need to focus on that. And I'm also starting on my oral history paper, so yeah. Okay, random thoughts. So one of the things, like I'm saying, I'm struggling with is PowerPoints. And so I'm in a group right now. So we got in our group the second day of the semester, which was a Thursday, January 22nd. And the professor gave us like 15 minutes to get to meet everybody and yada yada. And they wanted to stay after class, and I told them, hey, I can't stay after class. I can't stay after class in any of the classes unless I don't have to head off to campus as early as I have to most days. And they're like, okay, then we'll send an email and schedule our group meeting. Never got that email. I accidentally forgot to set my alarms on Tuesday, so I didn't go to class until my mom woke me up that morning. She's like, oh, you're not at class? And I'm like, oh my God, my class. So I didn't make it to that day. And on Thursday, the 22nd, I was having problems with Zoom. So that was another problem. So Tuesday, what was it? 30th, 29th, 27th. The 27th. Tuesday the 27th, I was, that was the day I wasn't in class, and apparently they also met after class. When I clearly told them I couldn't meet after class, that's when they decided to have their meetings. And so on Thursday, I get emails from the students that are in my group with the pretense of acting concerned, but also kind of telling me, you're not participating, you're not in any of our group meetings. And I'm like, when are these group meetings taking place? I haven't received any details, nothing, and haven't gotten updates. Tuesday was completely my fault, I understand, but Thursday I clearly told them that I could not stay after class. On Thursday, apparently, they also stayed after class, but again, they didn't even send me a courtesy email, say, hey, Guadalupe, we're gonna meet after class, and ask the professor to meet with us. So that's happening. There's a little drama with that already. And they're using SharePoint. I don't know if it's just because I was looking at it on my phone, but could not access it, so we will see. Okay guys, I forgot to add something in assignments section, so I'm gonna just add it here. But in my community research class, we do have to do community hours, and I'm not as nervous as I thought I was going to be because we actually get to choose. But if you can't find anywhere, they'll help you find somewhere, and the professor is completely willing to work with me to find a location near me instead of going to the locations they have, because the locations they have are all in like East LA, like downtown LA, South LA, like all of those areas. But she's willing to help me do some research of the 2 locations I have in mind don't work. Okay, I think that's it, you guys. It's only 2 weeks in, and I feel like I'm not settling into the semester yet. I kind of found the rhythm of it a little bit, but I still feel a little frazzled, and I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna even ever get this done? But yeah, my mom is still taking me to campus. She's actually walking with me to classes because she wants to get to know the campus, and I think she tells me she stays for a little bit to walk around, and it's a really good place to walk. There's like, it's very like steep in certain areas, so she really likes to exercise. On Monday she stays with me because it's no point for her to drive back. By the time she's pulling up to the drive, she literally has to turn around, so she's really enjoying that, walking around the campus. Oh, by the way, the first day for that class, my mom's sister's like, oh, go with you girls. I got out early, but he heard that my class started at 3:30 instead of 3, and he got here at 2:20, and we left at 2:30, and we got there like 10 minutes late, so the class was already started. It was so embarrassing. But anyways, sorry for this crazy mumbo jumbo of a video, but that's how I feel right now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully I was in view.